Ever stop to think about how your body just works? I mean, all those daily miracles, right? Like healing a cut or even just growing. Turns out there's this incredible microscopic engine running the whole show. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that engine. It's called mitosis.
Okay, so picture this. You get a tiny paper cut. You know the kind. Stings like crazy. It bleeds a little, scabs over, and then, a few days later, poof, it's gone. Like it was never even there. So how in the world does your body manage to rebuild that perfect little patch of skin?
Well, the secret sauce is really a three-part recipe: growth, repair, and, you guessed it, division. To fix that cut, your cells have to make exact copies of themselves. It all boils down to a story where one cell becomes two. So to really get how that healing happens, we've got to zoom in, way in, on the life of just one single cell. What you're looking at is the cell cycle. It's this constant loop of growing and dividing. But look closely. See that little slice labeled mitosis, the actual division part? It's just a tiny, tiny fraction of the cell's entire life. Kind of surprising, right?
You know, before a cell can just split in two, it has to get ready. And I mean really ready. There's this super long prep period called interphase. Think of it as the backstage work before the big show. It's where all the crucial groundwork gets done.
Believe it or not, a cell spends most of its life right here, in interphase. And don't let the name fool you, it's definitely not a resting phase. Oh no, it's an incredibly busy time of growing, and this is the most important part, copying its entire genetic instruction manual, every last bit. Okay, so interphase itself has 3 steps. First up is G1, or the first gap phase. This is where the cell just bulks up, eats its spinach, you know? Then comes the really critical part, the S phase. S stands for synthesis, and this is where all the DNA gets duplicated. It's like hitting copy on the entire genetic blueprint. And finally, there's G2, the second gap phase. This is like the final proofread. The cell double-checks the copies for any mistakes and fixes them on the spot. Pretty smart.
So what's actually happening during that S phase? The process has a name: DNA replication. Basically, the famous DNA double helix gets unzipped right down the middle, kind of like a zipper. Then each of those unzipped halves is used as a template to build a brand new partner. The goal here is simple but crucial. Create 2 absolutely perfect, identical sets of DNA.
All right, all the prep work is done. Showtime. The main event can finally begin. And this is not just some boring mechanical process, no way. It's more like a stunningly choreographed ballet. So let's call it what it is, the chromosome dance.
And the first act of our dance is called Prophase.
So in Prophase, all that long stringy DNA starts to coil up super tight. It condenses into those classic X shapes that we all recognize as chromosomes. At the same time, the wall around the nucleus, the nuclear membrane, just dissolves. And that releases all our chromosome dancers onto the cellular dance floor.
Now, see that X shape? Each half of it is called a chromatid. And since they are perfect copies of each other, we call them sister chromatids. Think of them as identical twins, our dance partners linked at the waist and ready to perform.
Next up on the dance card, Metaphase. And this part is all about getting organized.
What happens is pretty amazing. All those chromosome pairs line up single file right down the center of the cell, the equator, if you will. Meanwhile, these tiny little threads called spindle fibers stretch out from opposite ends of the cell and grab onto each chromatid. It's like stagehands making sure every dancer hits their mark perfectly.
Okay, get ready for the most dramatic part of the entire performance. This is Anaphase. The spindle fibers start to shorten, and with this powerful tug, they literally rip the sister chromatids apart. One twin from each pair gets pulled to one side of the cell, and the other gets yanked to the opposite side. This one single dramatic move is what guarantees that each new cell is going to get a complete, perfect set of the genetic instructions. Absolutely critical. And now the dance is winding down. The grand finale, the final act, is called Telophase. So once our separated chromosomes get to their opposite corners of the room, they start to relax and unwind. A brand new nuclear membrane forms around each group. So now you've got 2 perfect, identical nuclei all inside what is still technically one big stretched out cell. The chromosome dance is officially over. The performers have taken their bows, but wait. There's one more absolutely critical step: The cell itself still has to split in two.
And this final cut is called cytokinesis. You can literally see the cell membrane start to pinch in at the middle, squeezing tighter and tighter until it splits the cytoplasm, and poof, one cell officially becomes two.
Okay, so let's zoom back out for a second. We just watched this whole incredible, intricate performance. What's the big takeaway? What's the grand result?
The number 2. That's it. We started with one single cell, and now we have 2 genetically identical daughter cells. Each one has a full, perfect set of 46 chromosomes. From 1, we get 2.
And that brings us full circle, right back to our paper cut. The entire point of this amazing biological dance is just that, growth and replacement. Right now, millions of your skin cells are performing these exact steps to build new tissue and heal that little wound. And it's not just for cuts. This is happening all over your body, billions and billions of times every single day.
The precision is just staggering when you think about it. Mitosis creates trillions of perfect copies to build you and keep you running. But it does leave us with one last really important question. What happens when the choreography goes wrong? What are the consequences when this perfect, beautiful dance makes a single